We have all seen everything that's going on in the news, on social media, everywhere with Tesla, with the protests to Tesla, with the protests of Elon Musk, basically, with the vandalism of Teslas, with the setting on fire of Teslas at dealerships, all kinds of stuff, right? What's interesting is this morning, Associated Press, AP, put out this article. I just want to show you guys this right here. They put out this article, and you guys can see the picture. This is they took this picture in a police station in Canada because of a terrorist attack on Tesla, is what people are calling it, domestic terrorism, right? When they're spray painting these dealerships and setting these cars on fire and everything else. Well, this article comes out, and it says Tesla sales tumble 13% as Musk backlash, competition and aging lineup turn off buyers. And I just think it's very interesting that they have basically sectioned out Tesla for this article, because it is a trending word right now, I believe, because of how much has been going on with the vandalism of people driving Teslas, with the road rage against people who have been driving Teslas, and people not understanding that Teslas are driven by Democrats and Republicans and independents. Everybody left, right, and the middle will drive a Tesla. They have for the longest time, but now suddenly, because of Elon Musk's involvement with the Trump administration and with DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, suddenly there's a massive shift in how people feel about Elon Musk, which then for some reason tumbles over into how they feel about Tesla. Even though, yes, Elon Musk owns Tesla, but Tesla itself was supposed to be this great vehicle because it's an electric vehicle, and people who were worried about the climate were supposed to be all gung-ho for Tesla for the fact that it's not a gas guzzler, right? That's the whole point behind Tesla. And they are an affordable price vehicle, and you get good mileage on it and all these other things, right? It's supposed to be a good thing. Well, over the last couple months, Tesla stocks have dropped, and the purchasing of Teslas have dropped. I know a lot of people right now that are like, you know what? I don't want to purchase a Tesla because I don't want to get my car keyed while I'm at the grocery store or at work. And I don't want, my child to be driving a Tesla and somebody have a road rage or whatever incident against her or him because they don't know any better. Although every single person who is committing any sort of vandalism or domestic terrorist situation against a Tesla or their owner or their dealership, they do know better. They just choose to forget that they do know better. But what's crazy to me, again, is the fact that they put out this article about, Tesla is down 13% in sales, and it's all because it's Elon Musk and whatever else. But for some reason, they didn't mention the fact that Stellantis, the brand that has Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Fiat, they're down 12%. Or that General Motors, that they're down 7%. Don't forget Ford, they're down 4%. Every single car manufacturer right now has had a decline in sales, not profit, sales in general. And this is before any of the Trump administration tariffs have hit. This is just because, that's how I want to phrase this, because of what the economy is, or what people are afraid the economy will be, or maybe because people don't need cars right now. Maybe they bought them last year or the year before and they don't need a vehicle right now. Or let's think about this. People are busy paying off whatever credit cards they may have run up during the holiday season, December, and maybe that's why they're not buying vehicles. Who knows why people aren't going out and actually buying new cars? But the fact of the matter is, it's not just Tesla that is seeing a decline. Now, when these tariffs do hit against automakers that aren't made in the US, so you're going to look at BMW, you're going to look at Porsche, you're going to look at a lot of other ones. We've already talked here on the channel about how a large portion of vehicles are made throughout the US and other countries and then pieced together. So Nissan, and we talked about Ford. They have a lot of manufacturing that's done in Mexico. That's going to hurt when the tariffs go in and all these other things, right? But I want everybody to kind of have an idea of exactly what we're looking at. So they're talking about Tesla is down 13%. Well, let's see. Volvo says that their sales dropped sharply with a 9% decline in a single day reported on X, and a 66.5% decrease in California's EV market in the second quarter of 2024. Now, that's obviously not right now. The other ones we're looking at are the beginning of 2025. But for Volvo to have such a drastic decline in EV sales, I thought was very interesting. Now, Nissan, they haven't put in a specific number of what they're down, but they're facing sales drops because they're reportedly in distress, that it's seeking a buyout, though exact percentages for 2025 are not specified right now. But Nissan is possibly going to be bought out by another car company, whether it's Stellantis or somebody else. I don't remember. I did read about it, but I can't remember exactly who it was. You have BMW. They are down 1.8% right now, but BMW's EV sales declined 24 to 47% just in the first quarter of 2025. In California, BMW's EV sales have been part of a broader non-Tesla growth, but luxury brand consideration has weakened. So people in California, weirdly, is the place that is having the most anger towards Tesla, possibly. And so to really stick it to Elon Musk, instead of buying Tesla EVs, they're going out and buying BMW EVs, maybe a Toyota EV. I think Prius is Toyota, or maybe even a Rivian. Who knows? I've seen a lot of Rivians around lately, but people are trying to move away from Tesla to, again, prove a point to Elon Musk and to Donald Trump. But they are also proving a point to other automobile manufacturers that at the end of the day, electric vehicles are not that popular, because Tesla is all electric. They don't have any gas-powered vehicles. At some point, there's the possibility that Elon Musk may make a gas-powered or diesel-powered Tesla vehicle, but I seriously doubt that's going to happen. But the people that were driving Teslas, that have been selling them, that's been all over social media, where people are selling their Tesla, their Cybertruck, their Model Y, their Model 3, whatever, to really stick it to Elon. They are then going out and buying, guess what? Gas-powered vehicles. They're not going out and buying another electric vehicle, which I think shows a shift in how people are viewing cars in general, whether they want electric or they want gas. People like gas-powered vehicles. I know I personally would prefer gas power or diesel powered over an electric vehicle. I don't trust the batteries. I have seen what happens when an electric vehicle catches fire and how difficult it is to put that fire out. I know that they don't know what to do with the batteries in electric vehicles once they're all said and done. These lithium batteries, there's nowhere safe to dispose of them. Also, I could blow an entire engine in my vehicle, and battery included, and it would cost less to replace an entire engine and a battery than it would if a battery gets messed up on an EV. It is thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars to replace those batteries. And also keep in consideration, or keep in mind, that there aren't a ton of places that work on electric vehicles. There are way more spots that work on gas-powered vehicles or diesel vehicles, which is always something to keep into consideration, right? Now, Volkswagen says they are down 4.7% as of February. Toyota is down 2%, but globally 15.5% down since February. Honda is down 2.5%. Porsche, cited as nearing 52 weeks low on X, because that's where I asked this to get these numbers, indicating sales pressure, though specific percentages for 2025 are not fully detailed. Well, here's the thing. My husband and I were talking about it earlier. He happens to have a Porsche. It's a 2018. It's a used Porsche, right? It's not brand spanking new. If he were to go out tomorrow and buy a brand new Porsche, which we're not doing, trust me, those things are stupid expensive. If he were to go out and buy a brand new one right now, he could do so before the tariffs hit. Once the tariffs hit, that let's say a Porsche 911, that same vehicle is going to shoot through the roof on price, and you're going to be looking at like almost $160,000 for like a base model Porsche 911. Absolutely ridiculous. But it's supposed to, in theory, push more people away from buying Porsches and BMWs and Volkswagen and buying more American made. But right now, how many vehicles are really truly American made? That's the issue. It's the whole point behind the tariffs is in hopes of bringing more manufacturing back here to the U.S. That way, when you do buy a vehicle here in the U.S., you aren't paying the tariffs that are going to be passed on to the consumers, right, from these vehicles that are made outside the country. But also, it helps keep Americans in jobs. It helps keep American businesses running. It helps the American economy. That's what the whole point behind all of it is. Now, you've got Mercedes-Benz. They are 24 to 47% sales dropped in the first quarter of this year. Polestar is down 62% in California's EV market, but that's the second quarter of 2024. And they're saying that there's going to be like another 47% drop on top of that in the first quarter of this year. That is basically meaning that Polestar has sold a vehicle, like just one electric vehicle company, right? And then this what's crazy to me. Fiat, Peugeot, and Opel, they are down 63% for Fiat. Peugeot is 67% and Opel is 73%. Those are obviously different countries where the sales are down. But it's ridiculous because the whole reason I brought this up to y'all, not to just sit here and talk about cars all day, but because social media and news outlets are going to phrase things in a specific way. It's supposed to make you dislike and distrust certain people, certain brands, certain whatever. But it's like, if you're going to give this little piece of the story, why not give the rest of it? Yes, Tesla sales are down 13%, but all of the car manufacturer sales are down in the first quarter of 2025, and a lot of them in the last quarter of 2024. It is very important to put all that information out there, because if you don't, you're not really giving people the information that they deserve, right? So that's the whole reason we're having this conversation. I think that the car purchases will lessen over the next couple months, maybe all of this year and into next year, because of, I'm going to say it, the tariffs. I agree with tariffs on things. There's no reason why we should be paying out the wazoo for other countries and they not have to reciprocate, right? In theory, it will all work out and do good things, but it's going to hurt a little bit in the beginning. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. And the cars themselves, I would love to see manufacturing brought back here. I know people would love to see Detroit up and running and like just balls to the wall with manufacturing and production and everything else. To see Ford move out of Mexico and everything be back in the US, and out of Canada and back in the US. Same thing with GM and things like that. We'll see what happens. But again, if you are looking at mainstream media, you have to take every single thing that is put out there, good and bad, with a grain of salt, because it's not all being given to you in the way it should be. They're not giving you all of the information. I know I myself bought a new vehicle last year in September, but I traded in a vehicle to get a new vehicle, and the interest rates were low. A lot of people may not be getting vehicles, one, because interest rates may be higher than they are willing to pay. Two, maybe their credit is trash and they can't afford it. The fact that I've told you guys about it before, but a long time ago, in a 4-month span, I took my credit from 540 to 840, and I have been able to maintain between 740 and 840 since then. And this was years ago, all through C19 and everything else. And a lot of people haven't been able to do that based off of the economic downturn, I guess is the right wording here, that has happened over the last couple of years with job security or job insecurity, with the cost of living going through the roof, whether it's your housing costs, your insurance, your food, literally everything. So there's numerous reasons why people aren't buying cars, but I do think it needs to be really put out there the way accurately that it's down across the board, not just an Elon Musk Tesla issue. So thank you for listening. I love you all immensely. See you on the next one. Bye.